Hello, 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 hello. Super excited to be joining you today. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Hi, I'm Wendy Lee. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and I'm super excited that you're joining me for a little bit of paper crafting fun today. So happy Tuesday. Yay! Love to kick off our week with a little bit of paper crafting. So what are we going to do today? So today I want to show you how to create a really cool cloud background using a snowman. How fun is that? So we're going to do this card right here with this super cute floating chick. Love the chicks. And that's the inside. So we've got our clouds on the inside as well. So I'll show you that in just a moment. I am featuring the new chick stuff. So let me pull those in and show you what I mean by that. So we're featuring today the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set, and this is in our January to June mini catalog. And then we've got a promotion going on right now where you can also get coordinating dies, and you can purchase these in a bundle and save 10%, which is awesome, right? Wow, there's more. So a few years ago, we had this stinking cute Hey Chick stamp set as part of our celebration offering that you could earn it for free. Well, Stampin' Up! Has brought the stamp set back and added dies. So exciting. So if you have this Hey Chick stamp set, you definitely are going to want these dies. There's so many cool images in there. You know, it's going to cut out the stamps, but then you've got this cute sign. There's a barn, or actually, I guess it's a chicken coop, technically. You've got a corn stalk with some corn, some eggs, some little fencing, a little tree stump. Awesome. And these are intended to go together. So you can create some really cute projects combining the Hey Chick with the Hey Birthday Chick and the dies. All right. So today we're going to focus on just Hey Birthday Chick, but I wanted you to be aware of both because they are fantastic and you will not want to miss them. All right. The last thing I want to tell you real quick before we jump on in is that I am also featuring the Hey Birthday Chick in my upcoming bingo. At the end of today's video, I'll show you a sneak peek of those cards if you'd like to see them. So hopefully you'll join me. That's going to be on March 20th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Eastern time. So my West Coast friends, I think that's much earlier in the day for you, maybe a lunchtime or a little before lunch. But we have a really good time. We play 6 games of bingo, and then we do our card class together. It's all on Zoom, so we get to interact, and it's lots of fun. So hopefully you will join us for that. Registration will end on March 5th, and I believe I've got a link in the description of the video, along with your supply list and cut dimensions for today's project. All right, let's go ahead and switch over and start our paper crafting fun, right? Yay. So there's an empty picture in front of you, right? All right, I'm going to double check and make sure I am in the Facebook group that I'm supposed to be in and that you all can see me. Great, good. Hi, Kay. Hey, Gwen. So glad you guys are here today. I am a few minutes early, or earlier than I typically am. So I'm glad you guys are jumping in and finding me. So again, we're going to make this super cute floating chicken. And we're featuring the Hey Birthday Chick and the coordinating birthday dies. I think it's called Birthday Chick dies. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So the main thing I want to talk about today is creating this really cool cloud background. And I've done it on the inside of the card as well as the outside of the card. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So surprisingly, you're going to see the Snowman Builder Punch on the supply list. So I am using this right here to create a template. So I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper and punch out the snowman body. I might get some other pieces as well. That is just fine, but I don't need those. I've chosen to use a scrap of thick white cardstock, but it really doesn't matter what you use what makes you happy, right? All right, let's bring in a scrap of paper. And then I'm going to pull in my basic white layer, and it will be a little difficult to see on this for a moment, but it is 3 3/4 by 5 inch is the basic white layer. And then I'm going to use this snowman as a little template. Now I'm going to bring in my Pool Party ink. So let's move our card over, bring in my Pool Party ink and my blending brush. And I'm going to use the blending brush to create this cloud background. So I like to just pull ink right off my pad. And to me, the more the better. So I'm just going to start up at the top. You can start however you want. And I'm going to lightly apply. And again, you can do as much or as little ink as you want to. It's entirely up to you. And I'm going to flip it over, kind of overlap a little bit. Let's kind of put that one out there. And we're just going to work our way down our layer. So this does take a few minutes. I think it's fun to add the darks and the light colors as you move your way down. You can make lots of clouds. You can make a few clouds. It's entirely up to you on what you want to do with this. Now we do have a die set that has a die in it that would also make some fabulous clouds. I didn't write down what that one is. It's a happy birthday die set. If you guys need that information, I can pull that out as well. But I just thought this was a fun way to be able to use something that you might already have in your crafting arsenal that you can use unexpectedly, right? I think that's always a good thing. Isn't that great? Love it, love it, love it, love it. And the blending brushes make it so nice to just add that little bit of color. Almost to the bottom here. And I'm just really offsetting these. I'm not putting a lot of thought into it. I just really wanted to, maybe we'll do that right there. Give a little bit down at the bottom here. All right, so I'm pretty happy with my cloud background there. Nice, right? I've got a second piece of basic white cardstock, the exact same size that I'm going to use for the inside. While I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and build some clouds on the inside as well. So I'm going to start down lower because I don't really want the clouds all the way up on the layer. I just want a subtle touch of it on the bottom. So we're just repeating the same thing that we just did on the outside layer to the inside. Okay, you like this? Good, 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 good. Hopefully this is something you guys can use. Love it. All right, so that is my snowman cloud background. Super cool, I think. And the blending brush makes that really easy to do. All right, so the rest of our card is actually going to go fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and put some of our layers together. I'm going to start with the outside of my card. I have a piece of Crumb Cake. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to fold this in half. And let's go ahead and run our bone folder along here and give us a nice crease. All right, great. Then I've got a piece of Crumb Cake that is 3 3/4 by 5. I think I told you wrong on this. This is actually 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And it fits on the Crumb Cake layer. And that's the same for both the inside and outside. So I apologize, I had that off a little bit. You guys know you can't trust me when I'm talking about measurements. You got to look at what I put in the description because those will be the right ones. Sometimes my cheat sheet either doesn't have it written down and I make stuff up, or it has it down and I read the wrong line. That could happen as well. All right, so that's down with the Stampin' Seal. And then I'm going to pop this right up on the front with some dimensionals. So let's grab some of those. I've got some in my bin here. And we will just add some dimensionals to the back of this layer, maybe, and pop this right up on our card. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I don't know how well Crumb Cake is showing up on my wood background here. All right, nice. And I like that Crumb Cake on Crumb Cake layer there. It adds a nice little frame to it. All right, so let's go ahead and build our chick. So what I've done is I have pulled in the Stamparatus. So let me kind of move some things out of the way so that I don't mess them up, and we'll grab them again in a moment. So I have set up my Stamparatus, and I like to do this when I'm creating multiple of the same card. So I will set up my stamparatus so that my stamp is on my plate here, and then I'll stamp on a scrap piece of paper. Then I go die cut it, and then this is a template. So now I could go and die cut out as many of the shape as I want to. And I save a lot of paper this way because I'm not trying to put dies over the top of a stamped image. I'm able to move around pretty easily. So this is great because now I just pop this right down into the template, and I'm going to be able to stamp it. And again, this is a great way to do multiples. You can save a lot of paper by doing all your die cuts because you'll be able to get them so much closer together if you're not trying to stamp them, right? And then you don't have to worry about things sliding and all that fun stuff. And then now you can quickly ink up, and I use Memento black ink. So ink up my image and just go ahead and stamp this right down on here. Okay, and I missed a spot. So that's great because it perfectly shows that you can easily, very easily go back and stamp it again. So I don't even need to ink it up. You can see I just didn't get any pressure right there on that part of the chick. Well, no, I'm going to ink it up. I'm still not getting pressure right there. So let's try that again. Now, it could be that I'm a little bit close to the edge. So if you're familiar with your stamparatus, the closer you get to the hinge, the harder it is to get actually a really nice image on that because of the way that the tool is designed to work. And that is intentional. Maybe it's because I didn't clean my stamp. I've got some ink that doesn't want to come off on there. Let's try one more time and see if I can get a little bit more on that balloon and a little bit more on that little wing. All right, so I want to get that spot there. I think I'm just been inking it up wrong. A little bit better. All right, I'm going to be happy with that one. So I'm just going to pull this out. Well, I say I'm going to pull it out. Let's move our magnet and then we can pop it up, right? So doesn't that work great? And so now I could cut out a whole bunch of these and stamp a whole bunch of them very, very quickly and have what I need for multiple cards. Okay, let's go ahead and bring our scrap paper back in, and we're going to color this little guy. Hopefully my video is still working. All right. Now I'm going to bring in several blends markers. So I have got my dark pumpkin pie. I've got my dark and light real red, my dark cherry cobbler, dark and light soft suede, and then my color lifter if I need it. I may not need the color lifter, but I'm going to have it handy just in case. So let me start off with coloring the little nose and feet with my pumpkin pie. And I apologize if this camera shakes a little bit. I'm on a surface that's not as stable as I would like it to be. Okay, then I'm going to take in my dark real red and add a little bit of color to his feathers there at the top. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and color him in with my soft suede. So I will definitely just kind of scribble a little bit in here with this dark. You know, we've got a lot of design going on with this stamp with all these little feathers, I guess you could say. So I found that the easiest way for me to color and add in some dark was to really just scribble over the top to get some dark spots. And then I'm going to, where the wings overlap the body, I'm going to go a little darker and kind of outline that, and we can blend that out in a moment. Hopefully this is making sense. So put a little extra color there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back side here, underside, I guess you could say, where my chicken is, and the wings over the top, right? So you can see that. And then I know I'm going to want a little definition on my tail feathers up here at the top. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of that dark ink there and along my edge. I didn't used to start with the dark color, but after going to an event, I think I've mentioned this before, a few years ago, Wendy Cranford actually did a really nice demonstration on coloring with blends, and it totally changed the way I work with blends now. All right, so that was my dark. Now I'm going to go to my light. Now, if I've got a large surface area, I could color with my brush tip and then come back and do my blending. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I don't typically do it this way. I have found over time, again, in the beginning, I loved the brush tip and that's all I used. But I've found over time that that is actually not my favorite side to use of our blends. So let me go ahead and just lay this broad color in. The other thing I find with the brush tip is that you can really, I guess, kind of blow out the tip. So you can kind of see this one is kind of starting to do that. So people will put a little too much pressure when coloring with the blends. And that will tend to blow those out pretty easily. I actually like the bowl tip. So now that I've got color laid in, I'm going to go ahead and I like to use a circular motion, and I'm going back over where my dark and light overlap, and I'm kind of blending that color out a little bit. So it's going to give me, as it dries, a little bit of a softer line. So hopefully that's making some sense. Again, I like to use a circular motion and go over the top to fuzzy out those lines. So I'm going over both the dark and the light to soften that out a little bit. So the larger the image that you're dealing with, the easier this is to do. The smaller the image, a little more difficult this can be. So that's looking pretty good to me. I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to work on the balloon next, and we may come back and do a little bit more of a touch on him. But let's go ahead and color our balloon. Oh, good, Kay, you like the die cutting technique? Yeah, it saves so much time when you're doing multiples. All right, so I'm going to just lay in a little dark edge. Now this is the cherry cobbler. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my dark real red and lay in some of that. And I'm going to put a little bit of an edge on this side as well. Okay. And then I'm going to use my light real red. Again, you can come in with the brush tip if you want to put color in first. So I'll do that just to show you. I don't typically do it that way, but just to show you that you can. And then now I'm going to take that bowl tip and I'm going to use it. Sorry, I'm holding this up under here because this is a very fine little piece of cardstock. So I don't want to hinder what you can see, but I want to make sure that I can blend without any issues. So I'm going all the way back, even to that dark color. Now I could have used my darker red to do this, but I like using the lighter color because I think it looks really, really nice. So you could stop here. Now, if you want to add a little bit more of a highlight, you could come in with your color lifter and add a little bit of highlight. Now, I don't want you to think that you can completely remove color with your color lifter. That's really not the case, or at least that's not the case that I find, but it will lighten. So again, I like to use a circular motion, and you can see that that's lightening that up just a bit. So we'll do that on his face, and then let's go do that a little bit on his little arms, for lack of a better way to describe that. And that's just going to give a little bit of a highlight as that tends to dry. Let's go ahead a little bit of a highlight on this balloon as well. So I'm just going to use a circular motion, and I'm going right down the side, and I might go ahead and do a little bit of a crescent there. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So I'm going to stop there and take the less is more approach. So he is ready, all colored and ready to go right into the sky. So let's bring our card base back in, and we can just add him right to the card front with our dimensional dots. And you can see blends is going to bleed through your cardstock that you're using, and that's okay. That's why we do it on layers and not directly on our card. Great. And I want him to be floating away, so I've got him angled. So cute. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's add our sentiment next. So I've got a piece of basic weight. I think it's 2 inches. Let's see. I probably didn't write this down. 2.5 by 1 maybe is what that is. And then I'm going to stamp the happy birthday sentiment in the Memento ink. So bring that in and go ahead and stamp that right on that layer. I'm having stamping problems today. We'll flip that over. Much better. Yay. Love that there's 2 sides to your cardstock, right? Makes it a lot easier to do. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is I'm going to bring in my Stitch So Sweetly dies. Love these. These are great. And I'm going to take this smallest rectangle and I'm going to cut out that sentiment. So let's go run that through our die cutting machine. And I've got my label. And so I want to go ahead and pop that right up on the front. So you could do it at an angle and kind of make it look like he's holding it. I decided not to stress out over that, and I did not do that. So I'm going to just add a couple dimensionals. And I'm going to do it on one side because I've got the overlap on the chicken on the other side who is already popped up. Now, if it bothers you and you want some adherence to the chicken, you could always slide a glue dot or use some liquid glue underneath there if you'd like to. Cute. All right, so now let's jazz him up with some Artistry Bloom sequins. So I've got the Coastal Cabana, I think is the color of that. Bring in my Take Your Pick, and I'm going to go a little excessive on these little sequins. So I'm going to put a few on here. So I saw a version of this that Martin Stone did, and I loved it. And those that are in my Forget Me Not Card Club, we did a chicken birthday version for one of our card club cards, which hopefully you guys will be joining me this evening for. My card club members will be joining me for the Facebook Live this evening. So we also created a fun sky background, but on a different card in our monthly card club. But I thought I would bring in the elaborate sequence in the background like Martin did, because I thought that was kind of cool. Sweet, so cute, right? And pretty easy to mail because sequins are pretty darn flat, so they're not going to cause us any bulk issues. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the inside of our card. So we've got our cloud piece that we already created. So I put the clouds just on the bottom because I didn't want to do the whole thing. And we are going to bring in the sentiment, Let's Celebrate You. And we are going to stamp that in Memento as well. Now you could stamp it up high. I'm going to stamp it down here, not all the way down to the bottom, but towards the bottom, because I think that's nice. A little less expected, I guess you could say. And then we will go ahead and put this right down inside our card with our stamp and seal. Oh, you know what? I forgot my other crumb cake layer. Let's add crumb cake in there too. So I've got another piece of crumb cake, same as what I had on the front. So let me say this again. So my crumb cake layer is 3 3/4 by 5, and my white layers were 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we're just bringing that design element right into the inside as well. Almost forgot. It would have been cute without it, but I think it adds a nice framed edge, even though it's color, you know, tone on tone. So you could do it in a different color and have a pop going on there. But I think a nice subtle appearance is pretty for this particular project that I'm doing. So, all right, so let's bring back in our original, which is that one. And they look hopefully pretty similar. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll give this cloud background a go. All right, do you guys want to see a sneak peek of my bingo cards? So again, we are going to do bingo. March 20th is our day, and the last day to reserve your spot is on March 5th, and we are featuring the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. And so let me give you a quick flash of our cards that we're doing. So we've got this one, and this one. So I think they're really cute. So it'll be a fun card class. So I hope you guys will join me for that. And don't forget, we've got just another 10, 11 days to sign up for my mine and Glenda's. We're partnering on a Happy Mail stamp camp that you will not want to miss. It's 8 fabulous cards, and I believe 6 of the 8 are fun folds, which is always great. We have 2 more weeks, almost 2 weeks of celebration left, so you can still earn your free celebration rewards. And if you would love a discount on your Stampin' Up! Products, I'd love for you to join my team. We have a great team of people. We are the Diamonds, and we have lots of fun together. And I'd just love to have you with us. So if you've got any questions, let me know, and I would be happy to answer them. And we will talk to you hopefully next Tuesday. So if you love this, share it with your crafty friends. If you're watching on the replay, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and join me again next Tuesday, where we will do some more fun paper crafting. Yay! All right, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all hopefully very soon. Bye for now.